Let me get this MacBook camera quality is so trash. Woo, thank God though. Thank God. Thank God it's still doing what it needs to do. Can we do Instagram? And then we're gonna get started. Hopefully Instagram will be able to join. Hold on. Okay. Okay, guys, come on in. Okay, let's turn this around so I don't look too crazy. Okay, hey guys, how are you? I'm gonna put this here. Okay. So, hey guys, come on in. This was highly, 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 highly requested. My YouTube channel has been like pleading with me to put out more content regarding journals. I'm in journal business. And so this video is what you guys promised. This is what you guys wanted. And I have time tonight to do it. So before we get started, we are streaming on all platforms. We're streaming on Instagram. We're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, I will actually be able to broadcast your questions onto the screen using a really, really cool new technology called StreamYard. So I'm loving this technology. So as you have questions, be sure to submit them so I can post them up on the YouTube channel or on this live. Hey, Barbara. Hey, April. How are you? Let me see who's on Facebook. Let's see. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Okay, so I see Miss Hunter, Ashley, Corinthia, Dima, Camille, Tamika, Miss Ward, Lakeisha, Dr. Demetria, Latricia. You guys know I butcher names. Latricia, is it Latricia or Latricia? Because you know I butcher all names. Takesha, Shamika, listen, I butcher. I'm the queen of butchering names, okay? So just love me anyway, okay? So as you guys know, I did a video on my YouTube channel. I think now we're at 40,000 views. Tons of comments. I think there's like hundreds and hundreds of comments on there. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see it. And so the two most popular videos I've done is starting the mug business, which I'm doing a new version of that because that one has, I think, maybe 50 or 60,000. It has a lot of views. And because the video is so old, there's a lot of outdated information and people are now asking questions on those videos where there is a lot of outdated information. So now I'm coming out with not the same videos, but similar videos, but with updated information and strategy-based information. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about starting a journal business. I did a video on this that is very in-depth. Very in depth. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you just type in Genesis Dorsey. Shout out, we're almost at 5,100 subscribers. I think we're actually past that because we got 198 subscribers in the past 30 days. So I think I'm trying to shoot for 5,500 is the goal I want to do by the end of this month because I'm trying to do 6K by September. So I think we'll be good. So with all these people coming, there needs to be new information, new strategies. So that's what we're doing today. Today is all about starting a journal business, keyword business. A lot of people come onto my videos and ask about DIY journals, how to make them yourself. This is not, I don't teach that kind of business. Why is Katrina is calling me. Katrina, if you're watching my live, Katrina, don't call me, Katrina. I'm doing a live, Katrina. Katrina is my love bug. She's my makeup queen. She is trying to call me while I'm doing this live. Hopefully she sees the live and she hops on and so I'm not going to teach you how to do DIY journals. I'm not going to teach you on how to design your own journals. That is not what I teach. The reason being is that when you are launching a journal business, depending upon what type of business you're launching, and the kind of businesses that I talk about are journals that are going to be mass-produced, manufactured by another company because, in my opinion, most people that I work with, they don't have the time to make them. right? So if you're a CEO, you're a business owner, you're running your business. You don't have time to sit down and design your journal. You hire people. That's why people hire my company. We have a client who we just finished her journal and she is dropping it. Oh God, my phone came out again. I'm sorry, y'all. Instagram, you're getting behind the scenes. So she's dropping it this weekend and she didn't have time. So she hired me to design it. And so my job is to design the journal. You want to make sure, come in this business, we're going to go through 5 things that's going to make your life easier in running a journal business or adding a journal to your current business. Number 1, let's get started. Okay. So if you're taking notes or you're going to be re-watching this later and taking notes, we're going to dive into it. I'm going to give you your bullet point top subject, and then we're going to break everything down. So this is like a real class, pop-up class. I didn't announce it. I will announce it afterwards. Here's the thing you want to understand starting a journal business. Number 1 is that it's a business. Yes, that's the first thing. I know, shocking, right? It's a business. That means that this is not a hobby, because product creation is not a hobby. And a lot of people, because of how easy it is nowadays to create products, we don't feel the need or the push to sell it as often because, it's so easy nowadays to self-publish a book, put it up on Amazon, and hey, you got a book, right? And how many times have you seen people, they're the author of 20 books and they've only sold a certain amount, or they only sell them when they do the launches. Y'all know launch happy people, right? Where they get excited, they launched a book, a product, a journal, a planner, and then like 6 months later, you never hear about the planner again. Until like some random time, like, okay, Black Friday comes along, right? And now they want to promote the journal. We haven't heard about your journal what are we going on? So you have to run it like a business, which is why a lot of people who are in the journal business, I recommend you not to do the design work unless you are a graphic designer, okay? Because you need to focus more on the sales part versus you wanting to learn how to design yours. Now, again, if you have the time, do it because you're gonna save money. You're gonna cut that budget down. Yeah, you're gonna save money. But if you are not talented in design, okay, keyword design, okay, then you should not be designing your own journal. Save up the money and invest in a designer. I'm gonna tell you why. Because some of you want journals that look like day designers, but you don't have the day designer skills. You don't have the happy planner design mindset. So when it comes out, it doesn't look the same. Okay. I'm not saying this to attack someone, but you need to hire someone who can make it look like it is. Number 1. Okay. So number 1, we said it has to be a business. Number two, it needs to be marketable. Okay. It needs to be marketable. Okay. I'm just getting these things up here. A lot of times and again, I don't exist on here to give you lies. You pay me to give you truth, or you watch me to give you truth, okay? No one's going to buy a poorly designed product, and if they do, it's because they love you specifically. They want to support you specifically, but you're not going to want a stranger with bad design. And this is what I have to say. People don't want to hear it, but it's true. This is why some people, their books are not flying off the roof because the covers aren't good. And the book inside is amazing, but your cover is poorly designed. So no one is like, hey, I got my book. I got somebody. No, they're probably going to support you first because you know what? You're their friend. So of course they're going to support you. But 5 months later, the question becomes, is the product actually marketable? We're not asking, is it good? Oh, okay. Again, and if you're watching this is Snapple Apple. This is not alcohol. This is Snapple Apple. I'm going to show this just in case the Saints have questions. What does that say, Saints? Snapple, okay, apple, okay, juice drink, okay. Just have to quantify that and solidify that just in case the Saints decide to tell, the other Saints that Genesis is drinking on live. No, this is Snapple apple in a glass. I'm at my friend's house and all he had was this, I was a little parched. Okay. It must be well designed. I'm trying to, listen, save your life now. It's better to pay for a designer to make it look good than to waste your money with a bad product. Okay. It may look good to you, but if anyone has watched my the video that got all those views on starting a journal business and where I talked about my first journal compared to my second journal, right? One of the things you must do as homework, if you have not done this, and I tell my clients when they do journals with me, this is the first thing I need you to do. I need you to go research journals. You need to look at every planner and journal that you like. Okay, and then, again, if you've seen my previous videos, what do I tell you to do? You must begin to take notes on what you like about that planner or journal. Okay, what is the layout like that you like? Okay, what are the features? You guys know my feature rule. It needs to have below 10 features. Okay, why? It needs to be usable. So not just marketable, but it must be usable, right? A journal or a planner is not a book. So you should not be preaching to them 50% through the book. I want to talk to them about my heart. I want to really encourage them. Well, then by the time you get done reading, it has like 100 pages of written, and then like a planner. No, that's not a planner and a work. No, it's not a planner. It's not a journal, right? What's the difference between a planner and journal? A planner is for them to plan, right? And a journal is for them to journal, okay? A journal is where it is all about them writing, right? And the same thing for a planner. It is where themselves are personally using this product, right? Now with the planner, they're using the product to what? Plan out their life, plan out their day, right? They didn't ask you to write a book for them. They need to use it to organize their life. For a journal, they're going to be journaling. So there should be space in the journal for them to journal. Not like this much space. You want to talk the whole time and give them a little bit of space. No, journals are about them. Planners are about them. And so when you create a product first, it must be marketable, but it also must be usable. When we look at the layout of your planner or journal, are you giving them time to use it for themselves, or are you trying to hog the whole experience, right? Remember, if you need to write a book, go write a book, but that does not need to be in the what? Planner or the journal. That's all about them. Now, here is the third thing we're going to talk about. So number one, it must be a business. And we're going to go back to that one, back to the first one. The second one, it must be marketable. We're going to go back to that. I'm just kind of doing an overview. The third thing, y'all ready for this? The third thing is that it must, I hope the saints are ready for this. Number one, it must be a business. Number two, it must be marketable. It must be usable. Number three, okay, do not go feature crazy. Okay, do not go feature crazy. Okay, so this goes back to, you need to remember that is a planner or that is a workbook. Okay, what is my limit? If you've watched me teach, it is 10 features. What is a feature? A feature is something like, for instance, you want yours to have scriptures on every page or quotes on every page. You want them to count their, let's say you're doing a fitness journal. You want them to track their daily meals and calories. You want them to track their daily workouts. You want there to be a section in here that does this or that. So all these different sections, remember that you can end up making a product that is too overwhelming to use. Again, this is why we have to go through strategy, because some of you guys, I want my journal. I want to have this. I want to have that. I thought about this too. I want to put this in there. And I want to put this in there. And I want to put that in there. And by the time you get done adding all these features to your journal or planner, you no longer have a journal or planner. You have a product that is not usable because it has way too many features. Remember that the goal of these products, a planner or a journal, is to de-stress their life in some kind of way. Do not stress them out. Okay, because I have bought planners from people that I have never used, ever. And they're 2019 ones too. They're dated. So, and there's nothing wrong. We're talking about dated and undated planners. But for me, it was so overwhelming that I never used it. I never used it because I was just like, this is stressing me out. This does not seem like this is helping my life. So how are you going to use this product to relieve stress, not to add stress, right? So when you're creating a planner journal, your job is to help them, okay, to sort through life in some kind of way. So this goes to our next point, which is that your planner or journal must introduce a lifestyle. So the best journals and planners actually introduce a way of doing things. Happy Planner, Day Designer, they have introduced methods of organizing. The Purpose Planner. These are journals that, planners, excuse me. Planners that introduce a way of organizing your life, right? You guys ever heard of bullet journaling? You guys ever heard of bullet? It's a huge phenomenon. If you're not aware of it, it is a huge Bullet journaling is a huge phenomenon. Now, I'm not a fan of bullet journaling. It just messes me all the way up. I'm not that kind of, I'm just not a bullet journaler. But it's a way of organizing your day. And one of the things that you have to understand is that when you create a planner or a journal, you're not just creating a product. And that's why, when our clients work with us in Glam Print Go, and we're, talking about, how they want their planner to be designed, all that kind of stuff, I'm always thinking about, when I'm helping them to design, is how are we creating a product that needs to exist? Not a product that is optional, right? But a product that needs to exist. How are we going to make this is why when my clients hire me, we're not hiring a designer. They're hiring someone who, and I like to call myself a product developer. I don't just design the products. We're making sure that the products are actually functional. This is what product development is all about. Product development is not just manufacturing, creating a product. Manufacturing, printing, all that, that's at the end. I have to make sure that when my client is ordering 500, 1,000 journals, 30, whatever the amount is, that we can know that down the road, these products are going to sell. And we're not wasting our time making products because it's just a great idea. Great ideas are great. Okay, fine. But great ideas don't actually create a business, right? You have to make sure that it's actually a good product. So that's why you have to introduce a way of living through the products. And really, your way of living is not just through one planner or journal. It actually becomes the vision, and it's going to bleed down into the mission, right? But it becomes the overarching theme in all of your products, right? In all of your products, right? So for instance, when we look at Happy Planner and what that whole brand did, it transformed for many women their planner lifestyle, because planners are a huge phenomenon, guys, and so are journals, okay? But these are huge phenomenons. And so what you have to do is you have to create a brand that has a unique message and a unique goal for your users, for those who will be using this. And you have to continuously pitch it. That's why I always tell people, don't launch the product first, launch the world, right? I teach all my e-commerce gurus out here, e-commerce owners, right? You launch the product after you've launched the world. Create the world first, then place the products inside. It's just like a Barbie doll, right? You want to get the house, you want to put the furniture in. I remember when I had my American Girl doll, and I love the furniture. I mean, I like my doll, but I was really big on furniture because I wanted my doll to have a bed. I wanted my doll to have, her little armoire and her vanity mirror and all that. I wanted the world, because as much as I love my doll, even if I didn't have the physical objects, I had to imagine a world, right? You had to create a world. And that's the thing about children, is that they don't just play with their dolls. They imagine the world around their cars, their dolls. They're creating in their heads an environment, right, where their play is going to exist. The same thing happens for adults. As we create products, we're creating a world first that they will enjoy, that will lead them into the products. That's why you cannot be scared to have a definitive way of living that you introduce through your products, right? Apple has defined their way of life. And whether or not you feel the products are good, whether or not you feel like that, I like Android better, their mission is that, we have our world, and this is how we live. This is the kind of products that fit in our world. So you may say, I don't like how Apple devices, they don't do this, and they only sync with other Apple products. Well, guess what? They're not trying to sync their products with, PCs. Why? Because they want their Apple products to sync with Apple products. That's why my Apple Watch can unlock my MacBook without me having to type in my password, because they want you to build a world all around Apple, all around this minimalistic, easy lifestyle. Now you may say, to me, Apple's not easy. Apple's not this, but they built a world where people who do identify that kind of world, right? It clicks with them, right? So when you create planners, journals, remember, we're not just creating a planner or journal. We're creating a whole brand around these products, right? So we want to make sure that we have set what is our lifestyle that we are introducing through this planner product. How do you want people to organize their lives in the way that you want them to do it, right? And people, I want to make a product for everybody. That's not how this works. There's a reason why people buy other planners versus others. There's a reason why people like certain brands over others when it comes to what they wear. There's a reason why I like Louis Vuitton over a certain brand. There's a reason why I like Under Armour and Nike over Reebok and Adidas. There's a reason why. There's a reason why I like certain brands over others. And you have to not be afraid to create a road for your clients, because you don't want to know your product needs to have a definitive way of living, whether people agree with it or not. So this is why keto has taken off, right? Why? Because somebody, I don't know who it was, but somebody created a path that said, this is the way. Dr. Atkins, he created a way to say, look, this is how you do it, right? You have Oprah when Weight Watchers that says, this is how you do it, right? So in order to create great and clear products, you cannot be scared to create roads, okay? You have to, again, target, right? And again, there you go, Cheryl, target your audience. And the way that you do it is by creating products that have a particular lifestyle that you want people to subscribe to, whether it's journals or planners. You guys got that? Okay, let's go back there. You must be a business, you must be marketable, and you must be usable. The products must look good. Okay, that also includes, I want to hit some things with that. That also includes, when we talk about usable, margins. I mean, I design them. I design planners and journals literally almost every other day. So there are things that I think about that some people don't think about, but things like, for instance, when you're talking about a planner or journal, they can't be too small because the person has to write in them. And when you are designing, that's why, again, you need to hire someone. If you're not good at this, hire, please, because it needs to look good. You have to think about things like spacing. Like, when I think about my users or either my clients who use, hey, Jared, my clients who use these products, when we take a pen or a pencil, is there enough space to write their thoughts out? Isn't enough space for them to check the boxes, or are we cramping way too much onto a page? Right? We have to think about this. Think about, again, this is called product development. We don't just make products. Even the way that we design them, we're thinking about the client, right? This is why, too, when we look at Snapple, now they switched to plastic bottles. If you guys remember, and actually they still have these in the store, Snapples used to be all glass. I mean, literally. And of course, I'm sure that they've switched to plastic because of the fact that it is, I guess, lighter. So also, it doesn't break because it's not glass. And I'm sure for them, the cost is going down because it's plastic, right? Anyway, the point is that when we talk about products, you're thinking about things like grip. I mean, this is talk about product development. Like, this is huge. Like, the reason why I'm so passionate about creating products is because you have to create products that will live. This is what gives me the pleasure of designing for my clients, because, like, even this week, I've designed a product that's about to literally go into the hands of thousands, like literally thousands. And when I think about the woman that, for instance, this upcoming planner and journal has been made for, I see a woman sitting down in her house like this, opening up her planner and her journal, and, pouring out her heart into this product. So I want to make sure that she or he, whoever, now this particular product is for a woman, that they don't get frustrated by using the product and the product not really do what it needs for them to do. I want to have enough space to write. I want to make sure that we have enough pages for them to kind of get the point. We want to make sure that the design is not confusing, that they can clearly use the planner without there being any confusion. So are we having enough explanations on how to use the product? If we have, 10 features, are we explaining the purpose of these features? Is it clear enough to the end user that's purchasing the product? How are we creating a planner? Is this planner going to be dated or undated? If it's going to be dated, we have to make sure, number one, that our marketing efforts are way before the following year, so that we don't end up in the middle of the year with 2019 planners, for instance, like now, and we have a shelf of them that we're not selling. If we do undated, how do we keep customers coming back? Because if they're undated, that means that they can use it forever and they may not get through the whole planner. Are we having this to be a 6-month or 12-month? Like, these are all the things that I'm thinking about before I even bring a product to anyone's lap, anyone's office space, anyone's desk. We're thinking about all these things. Right. And again, this is why I love doing these classes for free, because I want you guys to get yourself in the mindset so that before you even work with a designer or you design it yourself, that you're producing well thought out products. In this world, people are creating products like pouring water into a glass. I mean, literally, people are cranking out products left and right, and they're crappy products. And again, you guys know I'm a little cutthroat, so it is what it is. They're crappy products. And then they get frustrated because no one's buying them. Number one, you never introduced a focus. You didn't have a lifestyle that people subscribe to. You didn't build the world before the product. You just brought a product into the world. It's like literally bringing a baby into a world that has no home. That baby's not going to have a great lifestyle, right? Why? Because it needs a home. It needs a place to live, abide, and rest. And that's the way that you think about your products and your brand. Okay, let's keep on going. So number one, must be a business. Number two, must be marketable and usable. Number three, do not go feature crazy, right? Remember, leave these people some room to actually use your product. Number four, must introduce a lifestyle, okay? Now let's go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5. So we just went through the 4, in my opinion, the 4 major nuggets, or I guess you could say overarching thoughts you need to think about. Now we're about to go into the 5 additional nuggets, okay, that you need to have for your planner or journal. Now, again, we just actually touched on this one, but it kind of goes with number 4, with must introduce a lifestyle. It must be niche based. It must be niche based. It must be niche based. Especially when you're a small business owner, you don't have the marketing dollars like others. You really got to create a product. At least let your first product be a really good product that really fits a certain pocket of the total demographic in the world, right? So have a unique purpose that you desire for it to serve, and you must make sure that at the end of using the product that it achieves the goal. Again, I'm gonna ask you this question: why does your product need to exist? Hey, Noti Design, why does your product need to exist? Tell me that. Why should I even think about, okay, buying your planner or journal? Give me one good reason for why I need it. Oh, well, it's going to help you organize your life. All planners and journals should help you organize your life. It's going to help you dive deeper into the word. I can get a Bible for that. Listen. Listen, you got to give me a better reason than a surface reason for why your planner or journal should exist. What exactly is going to happen to me by buying this journal or planner? Remember, journals or planners are workable products, right? They're not like books, even though books transform people's lives. Books are where I'm reading to learn, right? But products such as journals and planners, or planners and journals, or whatever way you want to say it, back and forth, are actually activity-based. Workbooks as well, activity-based. So that means that by me using this product, it actually is actively doing something for me as I'm using the product, right? So when we create products, think about, what do we want our customer to experience at the end or while using our product? What do we desire the end result to be? Okay. How do we see the product living with our customers, right? I want to see the journals in the purses, under the arm, something where I cannot live my day without using this product. And if your product does not create that sense of commitment, you're going to have somebody that uses your journal or planner for 30 days and they're done. And I've seen it happen countlessly. And it's funny because for some of you, the same thing's happened to you. You bought someone's journal or planner or workbook. You started using it for the first couple of days or weeks, and then you stopped. Not sipping tea, I'm snipping Snapple apple. It's the truth. It's a product that collects dust. Now, some people are just lazy. Some people, I'm gonna raise my hand. I'm a planner and journal addict because I make them. So I buy them. I won't even use it. I just buy them because I just love them. Right? I'll be at Marshall's, especially Ross and Marshall's or Staples. Oh my gosh, right? So, but at the end of the day, you need to have a product that people love to use. Okay, let's go to the next one. Number 2, profitable pricing. Profitable pricing. Let's talk about the money. The money, honey. When you are creating a planner journal, I get this question all the time. Genesis, what is the average price point that you would set for a planner journal? Number 1, Burlington, girl, especially if you have a good Burlington. When we talk about pricing products such as journals and planners, number 1, it depends upon what the manufacturing costs are. I have clients on different ends. I have clients who are ordering in bulk of 500 to 1,000 to 20,000. Yes, I'm working with a client potentially that I'm sending her a proposal, and she's looking to manufacture 20,000. Shababa. We're definitely going overseas because she has the numbers, but depending upon how you're trying to manufacture the journal does depend upon your ending price point. Okay. Now, one of the reasons why I know a lot of people are not really trying to run their business, their journal or planner as a business, because of how poorly priced the product is. Right? How poorly priced the product is. Okay. So I have an upcoming 4-week journal business boot camp. And so we're gonna be talking deeper about manufacturing, but I do want to cover some overviews, right? Some overviews. Hey, Juanita, I think Juanita, are you the Juanita that signed up? Juanita? I think it's you, because I'm gonna say there's a Juanita on our on the boot camp, because I think she's gonna be joining us in August. But hey, Green Eye Counselor. But when you're manufacturing journals, the average, in my opinion, the starting price should be between $30 up to $60, 30 to 60, 30 to 60. Me personally, 35 to 60 when it comes to a planner or journal. Okay. Now there are manufacturing features that will change. For instance, like let's say you want to do spiral bound. You're looking to do gold foil. You're looking to do maybe a linen cover with embossed gold foil on the cover. There's a lot of different options. Depending upon the different options that you go into, that is what will factor on the end cost or the unit cost that you will pay, and then the marked up price that you will offer to your consumer. Now, it's important because remember, the purpose of selling them is to profit. Some of you don't sell to profit. You sell because you just want to focus on purpose. And as you guys know what I always say, you can have purpose, but just make sure your lights don't get cut off because you don't want to charge people and actually have a profitable business. We're not in business to just have purpose. You have to also get paid. Because what goes into building up the unit cost? How do we actually break down pricing? Some of you need to actually write some things down. I'm about to break down to you on how you actually factor down pricing. You don't just say, oh, it's going to cost me, for instance, $4. Let's say it's going to cost me $5 to print each journal. So I'm going to sell mine. Oh, it only cost me $5. So I'm going to sell mine for $30. I mean, that's a good enough price point. $25 profit. No, actually, you incorrectly came up with your unit cost. It costs you $5 to manufacture it. But guess what? There are more numbers you need to add to that $5. Number one, you're going to need what I call an investment cost, because if you need to, let's just think about this, because some of y'all don't think about it. Okay. If I said, oh, an opportunity came up and I'm going to need you to fly to this particular location for a PR opportunity for your planner and journal, right? Okay. You couldn't afford it. I'm going to tell you why. You don't have an investment cost built into your unit cost, right? So when I sell the product, you think, oh, I got $25 profit. No, you don't. No. Because you didn't have money for investment down the road, okay? If you have employees, do you factor that into each unit? No, do you? Okay, no. That's why some of you can never afford an assistant, because your breakdown does not have padding enough to even afford an assistant. So you don't have that factored in, okay? Labor costs. I'm about to break down market. What about things such as packaging costs? So if I have a planner, I put it into a poly mailer with tissue paper. You want to add confetti. Some of you guys, I'm telling you, got to really break this down. You want to have a monkey jump out the packaging with cymbals clapping. You want to have confetti burst out the package when they open it. Okay, all that costs money. So let me get this straight. So what you did was you took the $25 profit and thinking that was, oh, it's profit. Oh my gosh, how much I made from the $5. No, that's not. No. On top of that, we have shipping costs. Okay, you have taxes. I mean, come on now. By the time we get done, you're not starting with $5, right? So what do I suggest? Number one, if the product costs me $5, yes, PJ, a monkey coming out. Yes, exactly. Summit 2.0, Barbara, Summit 2.0. If the product costs me $5, it's not just costing me $5. It's costing me, the manufacturing cost is $5. Got it? The manufacturing cost is $5. But then guess what? If you pay for shipping from China for them to ship the journals over to you, okay, and you pay for that, that also needs to be encouraged. I mean, listen, this is why for some of you, like, I don't get why it's so high. I mean, I can't, I would never pay. Because you got to listen, business on the other end, you cannot come into this thinking like a consumer because you're not going to understand markup. I'm gonna say markup. There's a shoe brand that I love called Tamara Mellon, I think. Tamara Mellon, I want to say is the name of the brand. And she co-founded Jimmy Choo. And her shoes are between, I want to say like $200 to $600, I think is like around that price point. And people are commenting on her, on her things. Oh, the shoes are too high. They cost too much. I would never pay $200 for that shoe. Great. You would not pay $200 for the shoe. You wouldn't. The shoe's not for you. If you can't pay that, the shoe's not for you, right? But guess what? As a company, if you have employees, you got marketing costs, all that kind of stuff. How are you going to pay for those bills? You got to build that stuff into the cost, okay? So this is why you cannot be ashamed for charging certain price points for your product. And here's the key: if you feel bad for charging that high, you got to shift your mindset. On top of that, I have to take care of my business. This is why we talk about running your journal planner business like a business. This is what I got to teach people. You have to take care of the bills. You also have to get ready for what's coming up next. So if we want to manufacture another product, we need enough cash flow in the bank to write a check to develop the next product. Right? If we end up working with a manufacturer that requires us to have a larger MOQ, right? A larger minimum that you're going to be ordering. So, you at first you're ordering 100. Now the better manufacturer requires 500 and you don't have that money in the bank because technically you're bleeding because you didn't build that stuff into your cost. That's on you. Right now, here's what people say. Well, Genesis, I can just publish mine on CreateSpace. Now, CreateSpace is where you're going to start. It's where you're going to start, but it's not going to be where you're going to end up. CreateSpace is what you use. I've used CreateSpace. I have clients use CreateSpace, and we only use CreateSpace when you're first starting out, and you don't have the tribe to sustain having tons of journals in your office, right? So the reason why we like CreateSpace is because you can create literally one-offs. Like you can print one at a time as they come in. Right now, of course, you can also order bulk, right? But I promise you that as you order more journals for your business, you can get those prices cut way lower than CreateSpace. Which is now Kindle Direct, excuse me. People say, oh no, CreateSpace is going. CreateSpace is not going, y'all. CreateSpace has become Kindle Direct Publishing. So please do not ask me that question. God, CreateSpace is gone. What are we supposed to do? Use Kindle Direct Publishing, which is what CreateSpace has changed into. So with CreateSpace, on average, let's say you have over a certain amount of pages, right? You're going to probably be paying between 2 to 4, maybe sometimes 5 max for your planners or journals. Again, if they have paperback binding. Okay, because remember, CreateSpace only offers, that kind of binding. Then you can go out to other manufacturers that will have more options. But usually, as you go on, you will need to order products in bulk. And some of you, this is one thing. Well, I don't want to order that many products in bulk. Build up your tribe so that you can get the prices down. When we look at businesses that scale and grow, eventually you're going to have to go to a manufacturer, and eventually you will have to publish or buy in bulk. Period. Okay. And the only way to get there is to build up those numbers. Okay. What about CreateSpace to establish the format and use a printer to print in bulk? You can do that except I will say this for formatting. I'll say this for formatting. Technically, you format according to the company that you use to manufacture it. So if I'm using CreateSpace to manufacture it, then I use CreateSpace guidelines. But you do not use CreateSpace guidelines if you're not using CreateSpace to publish. Why? Because the manufacturer will have their own guidelines that they require for bleeds, for margins, all sorts of stuff, especially depending upon the binding that you're going to get, right? If we're going to think about this, if we're going to get spiral bound binding, spirals cut into the actual margins, like they actually cut into the page, right? So you can make sure that the design layout does not affect, so you can't have text, you know, at the corner and there's like literally a binder ring right there at the word, right? So you never ever use CreateSpace for formatting if you're not going to be using CreateSpace as the end manufacturer. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so you only use CreateSpace if you're doing, again, I love CreateSpace, but you can definitely get the prices down below CreateSpace, way below, but you have to order in bulk. And this is why you must build up your tribe. Okay, let's keep on going. Profitable pricing. Okay, that again, why are you charging profitable pricing? Because you have to run a business. Okay, you have to have money in the bank. Okay, you can't bleed because shipping is a shabba. Okay, number 3, you must have a long haul vision, not a short term. So don't have the energy to crank out one product. You're gonna need more than that. Okay, and we'll touch on that. You're gonna need more than that. So price point for CreateSpace should be, remember what was my range? 35 to 60. And I can't tell you what to charge, it's up to you. But again, what goes into it? What goes into having great price? Number 1, how is it designed? Is it designed well? What is the quality of the design? Does it look like someone on Fiverr made it? And there's people on Fiverr actually really good. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know the kind of Fiverr I'm talking about. There's Fiverr really good and there's Fiverr really cheap. Okay, so you need to make sure that it looks well designed. People will pay for a well-designed product. Okay, what is inside? You know, if you just have line pages, no one's paying $60 for a product that just has line pages in it. Okay, so pricing, you're looking at what's included, what do they do, what are the actions inside. That's what makes up that price point. And usually for journals and planners, especially planners that are in this the $60 range, usually they're going to be they're going to have a spiral mount to them because metal costs more. Paper bound books are cheaper. Remember when we introduce a different material such as metal, the price point goes up. Gold foil, the price point goes up. That would then push us into $50 to $60 range. Okay, got it? Okay. Let's keep on going. Like I said before, wait, hold on, make sure I'm checking on YouTube. Shawana, I'm going to get to your question in a second. Okay. So yes, let's talk about this. Must have a long haul vision. It can't be short term. You never build for just one product. Okay. You want to at least think about 2 more products in the pipeline that may not come immediately, but will come down the road. For instance, you have people who do a dated planner. Then down the road, they're going to release an undated planner. And then maybe after that, they may do like a different kind of planner, something different. Or they'll do like a different kind of product, like stickers, washi tape. You know, they'll do maybe like stationary products that supplement the brand. You know, Happy Planner did this. They came with stickers. They came out with, they have all sorts, Happy Planner has all sorts of stuff. Okay. So you may branch out into other things, but don't just get obsessed with one product because again, if you're going to do one product, like for instance, Day Designer did different covers. Right. So like you have the Day Designer, but then what they did was they added different types of covers for the Day Designer, right? Happy Planner, same thing, different types of covers. So you got to keep people buying, right? And unless you are some kind of celebrity where people buy from you and they don't even care, right? You're going to have to keep the interest going. This is why you don't get excited about a launch and then 6 months later you want to quit or you just stop promoting. You got to, if I'm making money every month, think about this like this too. You have to push a certain amount every month, even to hit a certain number. This is why for some of you, I pray you wake up really fast. Let me pull my calculator so you can understand why we're talking about actually operating a business, not a hobby. And so, oh, I would love, one day I just want to make a journal. This is not, nope, you can't, nope. So let's say I want to make a minimum of $10,000 a month. And my journals were, let's say $40. My planner's journals, whatever you may be. You need to sell 250 of them every month to hit $10,000. Just to hit 10. And remember, that's not your salary. That's what the business made. You're still going to need money for all sorts of other things, okay? But if I wanted to make $10,000 in journals or planners, and let's say I had an average of $40, okay, I need to push out 250 planners or journals to hit a $10,000 mark. So if you came into this talking about, oh, as long as just a few people are touched by my product, that's all that matters. This is not the world for you. Hey, Liz girls. Hey, girl. Hey, Liz girl. This is not the world for you. This is not the world. No. That's like when people say, oh, I want to hit 6 figures. Okay, get the energy then, because you can't come into hitting 6 figures lazy. I never forget when I first hit my 6-figure mark, and I was so excited. I was ecstatic. Oh yeah, excited, right? And the one thing I said was, well, how come I wasn't hitting the 10K earlier? What was I doing? My coaching programs, everything was just cheap and low. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just embarrassing, And I realized that it was easier for me to hit my goals when I upgraded my mindset. And I also realized it was going to take a lot of work, right? So in product development and sales, right? Remember, volume. Do never forget the word. Never forget this word. Volume. Okay, not volume. Okay, some of you don't mistake that, but value. When you sell products, especially in the retail world, and they are below a certain price point or threshold, you must push them in value. So this is why you guys wonder why I'm always talking about building your tribe, gathering people before you release a product. Why? Because it's going to take a lot of people that you have to sell to every month. No one is, okay, especially in products or journals. Why? Because products and journals are usually developed for either half a year or a full year. Right? So the cycle of your customer is usually annually, or if not half a year. Okay, so no one is buying a day designer every month because I bought it for a full year. And if I do buy another one, it may be for a friend or whatever, right? So this is why I talk about strategy. This is why you can't listen to all these other people. I mean, I'm saying you can't listen to anyone else, but you gotta be careful who you're listening to when it talks about starting this kind of business, because you have to know the strategy in developing and making them. This is why I have to do these free videos for you guys, so you know what you're jumping into. Okay, so you have to know that what's the cycle of my customer. If it's for a whole year, that means that every month, if you're going to push 250 people, that means these are new people usually. These are going to be new people. So you have to come into the game saying, how am I going to get 250 people on average to buy my products consistently? So that marketing game better be there. And you better have a good gathering strategy. That's why you need email marketing. You have a great website. You need to think about doing social media ads. Okay, you need to think about doing where you're in person hustling these products, getting to know people, becoming a speaker, getting on stages to promote your products. Like, you need to be out here. You can't hide behind a rock and then want to hit 6 figures. It's not going to work. Okay, number 4. So number 1 was niche based. Number 2, profitable pricing. Number 3 was long haul vision. Okay, and again, these are the additional 5 that we're going into. Number 4, you must think forward with new releases. You must think in the terms of collections. When you talk about product development, even if you have just one product, you definitely want to think about, what about my clients who have finished or used my planner, especially if not, even for a journal. This really is more for journals, actually, not so much planners, because you can sell the same planner for years and just change the cover and you'll be fine. Okay. What is an 18-month planner? I don't suggest that at all. I don't know. That's too long. No, do not go past 12 months. Do not go past 12 months. Unless there's a unique reason for why. Is this for like a child? Like, what would be the reason for an 18-month planner? Would it be for like a child, like planning the child? And maybe like, from birth to 18 months, maybe? Because if so, I wouldn't do it in that way. I would do a 3-step planner collection where it would be 0 to 3 months, or maybe 0 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 18, right? So that way you can buy them in steps, or you can buy the whole bundle, right? That would be a smart way to do it. Like, I would buy, and that's actually a good idea, right? So if it's like a product for like raise, I'm gonna need one down the road. Ray. I'm not sure if that is what you were talking about, but that's the only thing I think about for 18 months. Because I know at our school, we start to accept toddlers at 18 months in our toddler school. So that's the only reason why I thought about it. But Yeah, that's how we're breaking. That's the thing too. You have to know your cycles. We'll talk about that in another video. Okay, so let's talk about again thinking for new releases. So you got to think in terms of collections. This really applies to more of journals. Yeah, and the thing about larger brands is that again, I've seen it. I have not seen it. I think I'm thinking about 12 months. I'm thinking about 12 months, but for me personally, I'm gonna tell you why I'm very highly against 18-month, especially for smaller businesses, because you need a higher customer cycle than what a larger company would need. Right? When you're getting started, you don't have the opportunity for someone not to come back to you after 18 months. You need them to come back faster. Down the road, you can release an 18-month, but I would not do that. I would, for so many reasons, for a small business owner, for so many reasons, because you just can't afford for a customer to be away from you that long. Okay, so yeah. So think about when it comes to planners, or not planners, journals, right? So with a journal, usually it has content that you want them to achieve. And then once they finish that journal, it's not like they can buy another one and do it again because it's the same questions or it's the same content, right? So this is where if you're doing journals, you need to highly think about creating another one down the road. Right. So I think that new journals should be released. I think that you need to have at least 3 different journals. Start with one and then come up with another one, maybe a year or a year and a half down the road. Okay. And make sure that each journal that you push out is solving a very clear need that your tribe or community has stated that they need. You cannot do a journal because your girlfriend told you it was going to know. You need at least 250 people who can buy one of the months up. Okay. So you cannot wait. Okay. 5 years. Oh, here's another journal. No, because let's say I did your journal. I finished your journal. What's the next product that I can buy? Never allow your customers to only get one cycle out of you. At least do 3 cycles. So I finish this journal, I go to another one, right? But don't just give me one, especially as a small business. It would be different, guys, if you had like $500,000, you're starting your company, you could buy, $30,000 in ads, But for most people who I'm talking to, that is not your case. So you have to be more strategic with how you spend your coins. Okay, so think about products down the road. It could be, again, doesn't even have to be the same. It doesn't have to be another journal or planner. It can be, again, other products. It could be merchandise. It could be clothing. It could be, stationery. It could be, things for the office that go with the product, right? But don't allow just one cycle out of your customers. Okay, we're almost done. Last one. You must create content that supports the brand. Why? Because you're creating a lifestyle. So remember, let's go back through all of our nuggets before I end this one. So number one is, these are our top 4 nuggets that we first start out with. Number 1, you must be a business. Number 2, you must be marketable. Number 3, you don't go feature crazy. Number 4, you must introduce a lifestyle. Now, what were our supporting nuggets? Number 1, you must be niche-based. Number 2, you must have profitable pricing. Number 3, you must have a long-haul vision, not a short-term, right? So in other words, we're not just running our company for 5 months because you launched one and then you just stop talking about your product. Number 4, you must think forward. You must think forward with new releases or new types of products. Remember, within a year or year and a half range. And then lastly, you must create content that supports the brand. Okay. No, not 3 journals a year. No. What I'm saying is that on average, have 3 products in your whole entire brand. Three journals. If you do a journal business, have 3. Over a couple years span of time, just so that you get enough cycles out of your customer within the course of, let's say, 3 years, 3 to 4, 3 to 5 years, honestly, So within 5 years, I would say you need to have, if you do journals, at least have 2 more. And remember, the kind of journals I'm talking about have content inside. So I'm not talking about line journals. Like if you're doing just line journals that have just different covers, you can do as many as you want. But I'm talking about journals that have like questions inside, they're working through them. Okay. So create content. Lastly, create content that supports the brand. What do I mean by that? So you need to be visible. You can do this through having a blog. Okay. You can have this by having a podcast. You can do this by having a YouTube channel. You can do this by having online events such as webinars or, mini conferences that support the lifestyle of the brand. So if I'm a mother that created a motherhood type planner, then I would have a mom-based blog. I would have a mommy podcast. I would have a mommy YouTube channel. Another way to turn a YouTube channel is into a TV channel. Right, so I could have well-edited, well-produced TV episodes or content that would help subscribe people to the lifestyle of my products. Okay, I can also have online events. So if I was a mommy brand, I would do a mommy virtual 1 day or 2 day or 3 day conference where we did Facebook ads for it and gathered tons of women online. Hopefully got several thousand, and we would gather them for talk about motherhood and subscribing to the way that we do motherhood, and of course ending up with pitching the journal or the planner that we use in our lifestyle to organize our motherhood. Right, I got it. So that's just an example. If I'm a fitness trainer, I would do the same thing. Have a fitness trainer. If I'm a financial coach or financial expert, I'm going to have a financial planner or workbook or journal. And I'm going to have what? I'm going to have a financial blog. I'm going to have a financial podcast. I'm going to have a financial YouTube channel that is video content. I'm also going to have some online events. These are ways to bring in people digitally, okay? I'm also going to be a speaker. I'm going to be someone that's going out into the world gathering a fan base that way as well. I'm going to be the face of my brand. When you are starting a small business, you are the face of your business. You cannot hide behind a rock. No, you don't even have the opportunity to do that because you're a small business owner. I can see if you had a team of 12, I don't know why I said 12, a team of 10, a team of 5, but you don't. And even if you did, you would still need to be the face of the company because usually their roles are going to be behind the scenes, right? So you are to be the face of your company, especially when we're talking about creating a journal business or a planner business. Okay, now questions. Let's get to the questions. I'm going to go on YouTube first. And we're going to have questions. I need to charge my laptop. It's on 9%. Okay, so Shawanda Howard, I'm putting her question up here on our YouTube. I love this technology with StreamYard. Do you feel journals are oversaturated? I feel like that everyone right now is coming out with a planner journal, like legit. Like it was not like this 5 years ago. Remember that the self-publishing world, again, that's the beauty of self-publishing. It is created where anybody, right? Which I'm not against. I think it's awesome. I think it helped to lower the cost. I think that every market is really saturated. There's some that really aren't that saturated because they haven't been discovered yet. So I can't say every market is saturated. But yeah, I think that people are always, coming up with stuff. But here's the blessing of it being oversaturated. This is what I always teach. This is what I always love. Oversaturated does not mean good, right? And so what I mean is that just because everyone's coming out with something does not mean that they're coming out with good products, right? Great products create clarity in the midst of noise. I'm saying it again. Great products create clarity in the midst of noise. I'm saying it one more time. Great products create clarity in the noisy world, okay? So I love it when it's oversaturated because it means that a lot of people experience all this noise. It means that, too, there's obviously no clarity. So when you cut through the noise with clarity, you usually get a lot of attention because you're having a product that does what all these oversaturated companies are not doing. Right. And so I don't have an issue with it being oversaturated because a lot of people aren't creating good products. Remember, a lot of products out here are not well designed. They don't look good. They look like you made it on your computer. You weren't a graphic designer, they aren't functional. They aren't usable. Most of these companies coming out with, small business owners, they promote it once and then after that, they kind of let it die down and fizzle. So it's really not really oversaturated. I mean, it is oversaturated, but not with good companies. That's why for me, everyone's not my competition. I got this one girl said, "Oh, I love how we're in the same field, even though we're each other's competition. We still are sisters." And I'm thinking to her, again, grace of God, love her, awesome woman of God, but you're not my competition, ma'am. No offense, but you're not. You're not. I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm just saying we're not in the same field because my products are ready for market. Yours aren't. We're not in the same field. Okay. If they wanted to sell my product at Costco tomorrow, it will look like it'll be ready for a Costco shelf. Okay, so this is why most people that you think, oh my God, I can't believe I'm coming with a product. They have a product too. You're gonna be just fine. Okay. Let's see. Brown Sugar says, what software do you use to design your planner or journals like InDesign? Yes, you use InDesign. Adobe InDesign is the best. I also use Pages for Mac. I use Pages for Mac to really help me to outline it because I've become a Pages for Mac like addict. So a lot of times I use that to do it. Also to just InDesign. So InDesign is for layout. I use Photoshop or Pixelmator for Mac for cover design, and then I use InDesign or Pages for Mac for inside design. It just depends on what we're doing. Okay. And then in format InDesign. So when we get done doing everything, we're going to use InDesign to do the final formatting. Okay. Go back through the questions. Okay, so YouTube looks good. YouTube looks like I've answered their questions. I'm on 6%. Okay, so we're gonna be done. So Naughty Design has a question. Okay, Gigi, how much is a consult or question answer session? So my one-on-ones are $197 for 1 hour. It includes your call recorded. And it also includes for me to give you some execution steps. And the way I'm moving from now on is that you cannot book another call with me if you have not done what I told you to do in the first call, because I'm no longer doing this where I don't need your money like that. I really don't. I know this may not, listen, I have a family business to run. I can just focus on the family business. It's not that serious. I'm not desperate for anybody's coins out here. Okay. So please do not waste my time nor your time. Okay. And I'm saying this to representatives in general. Okay. Do not, listen, and you're like, oh, Gigi, I'll pay you. It's not about the payment at this point. Did you do what I told you to do in the last call? You have not, I'm telling you to tell people, listen, you need to get this many email subscribers. They come back. I got 5 people. I really have some questions. No more question. No more question. Ask no more question. You do what I tell you to do, then you come back. That's how I'm gonna start talking right now. Ask no Gigi. No Gigi. Gigi not here. Okay. Listen, go do what I told you to do. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna get to Nodia's question. I need to charge up my laptop. So the question is, can you merge a journal or a devotional in journal? Hold on, guys. I'm gonna kind of shift you guys. Instagram is about to get off because I've went over the hour limit, so I'm about to come back. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Where's the I think there's a hold on, y'all. I'm at my friend's apartment, so things are a little, get myself adjusted here. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Ask some more questions. Hold on. Can you merge a devotional and journal? Yes, so you can merge anything. Like my client that her product's about to drop either this weekend or early next week, we merged a planner and journal together. So you can merge anything that you want together when you're creating a product. Just make sure that each one gets equal attention. Like for hers, we actually had a devotional, like hers is a planner and journal, but it actually had devotional like sections inside. And then it had sections for them to like write their notes, stuff like that. So you can do any merge you want to do. Just make sure that they get their equal amount of time. There should be lights here. Where is the lights? Oh, hold on, y'all. I think I have lights here because I don't like how dark. The lights at? Hold on, guys. Hold on, lights there. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's the lights. I'd say it was dark. Okay. Nodia Design had a question on Instagram, but it went off because it was off. So I'm gonna. Her question was, I think it was how. Nodia, what was your question? Oh, YouTube just went off. I just clicked on wrong. This is what I get. I'm always clicking stuff. You got it. I'm always clicking. How am I still live? It says I'm still live. Oh my God. Did I just?
But it went off.
It says I'm. This is what happens to me on a Friday. Give it up to me for me to do something. How do I get? I'm gonna get back on my live on Facebook. Okay. Well, I know. Yeah, we're still live on. This is hilarious. I know YouTube is still live. They're still good. Okay, we're gonna put journal and planner creation Q&A. Oh man, sorry guys. Sorry, the Facebook was probably like, what just happened? Okay. Sorry guys. Okay, smokies. Okay, so let me answer Nodi's question. So how do I gain traffic? So gaining traffic can come in different ways of your product. The first thing you want to make sure that you do is that you have the channels, right? So you have social media, you have your website, right? Your website is going to be actually your in place for them to purchase, right? And then you're going to have your social media channels and things like that. So you gain web traffic, okay? You have to create it. So traffic can be created through ads, right? Well done ads. Traffic can be created through promotion, like with influencers. Traffic can be created with promotion from not just influencers, but let's say like PR, like TV, opportunities like that, right? Traffic can also be created through SEO, right? Where you are using certain keywords that, and this is where having a niche-based planner or journal is awesome, because if you can create blog content, web content, that's like searching, like people are searching for that kind of information, then that can be a great way to bring in. Like a perfect example is one of my YouTube videos is titled How to Start a Journal or Mug Business. So when you type in starting a mug business into Google, I'm the first video that pops up on the Google search, because the title was a searchable title. That's why I created a YouTube channel and then creating content that answers questions that people may have about the lifestyle that your product answers, right? So like, for instance, if Dr. Atkins was starting his diet company in 2019, a great way for him to drive traffic would be answering questions on dieting, on losing weight, right? And then guiding people to his website to learn more, right? So that's how you can create content. Okay, if he was starting it, well, he passed away, so he can't really start that again. But may he rest in peace. Anyway, so that's how you guide traffic. You also want to make sure too that you can convert the traffic, because you can get traffic, but converting the traffic goes back to, again, having, number one, a well-designed product. The site needs to look great. It needs to have, an easy way for people to purchase. You guys know the number one e-commerce platform is what, y'all? What is it? I'm not going to say it. What is it? I'm going to see if somebody just listens. Does somebody listen to me? I just want to know this. Does anybody listen to me? Does anybody listen? What is the number one e-commerce platform in the world? I'm going to see if people can see Facebook. Oh, wait, Facebook is here somewhere. What's the number one e-commerce platform in the world? There's only one. It's not Squarespace. It's not Wix. Yeah, Barbara, there we go. It's Shopify. I'm going to put up her comment. It's Shopify. Shopify is the number one e-commerce platform for a reason. So I recommend having a Shopify store. Okay, is the number one. Again, Amazon. Well, Amazon's a giant, but they're the number one distribution platform, right? And that's a great question too. Let me, even though no one asked this, but let me add this. Should I sell my planners or journals just on Amazon, or should I have my own website? That's the question I get to my email all the time. You should always have your own website. Always. Why? Because for a lot of people, especially if you're publishing through Kindle Direct, hopefully you guys know this, Amazon eats up 40% of your profit. So, I mean, if you guys like to bleed, be my guest. But would I do it? So I have my planners and journals on Amazon, but on my they're on my website as well. And I actually focus on driving traffic to my website. So I could care less about Amazon reviews on my journals. I can care less. I think there's only like one review on one of them, because I don't even use it as my promotion platform, because it eats up on my profit. If you use Kindle Direct Publishing to publish your book. So what I do instead, I have them printed and then they ship it to my house and then I sell it from my own website because that way it's not bleeding or cutting into my costs. Okay. Barbara asked, what other products do you suggest that complements the journal? Mugs, totes. For me, it depends upon what the journal is. What need is it solving? That from that viewpoint, then I'll know what would be something additional. It depends upon what kind of journal we're talking about. What is the lifestyle that it promotes? And then from there, finding products that would promote that kind of lifestyle. When it comes to merchandise like mugs or totes, mugs are really expensive unless you're buying in bulk. So unless you're going to be ordering them in like minimum quantities of like 100, you're not going to get them super cheap. You're going to get them at probably a minimum, I would say, of $6 to $7, especially if you're drop shipping. And then that's not cheap. Then you have shipping. So I suggest things like t-shirts are cheap. You can also buy, this is something too, you don't have to make the t-shirt yourself. You can get clothing and resell it. Like you can, if you have a religious-based business that, sells, Christian journals or whatever, get some Christian t-shirts that are already made on some platforms where you can buy them in wholesale at really inexpensive prices. Totes, yeah, get totes, but don't print them yourself unless you can get them at a low price. One of the things that you must always get the margins at a healthy price point. It has to be healthy. So if they're not healthy, don't sell them. Like for me, I would not get totes from print on demand like Printify or Printed Men or Printful when I know I can go buy some, Jesus Loves You totes, from another wholesale site at like $1 a piece or $2 a piece or even $3, even $4 is cheaper than even getting them from other places. People say, well, I don't want to incur, I don't want to have inventory, but do you want a healthy business? Because you guys know, as I teach all the time, print on demand, I know everyone loves to preach about it, but print on demand t-shirts and mugs, that's where you start, but that is not going to sustain you as a profitable business because the margins are crazy. And unless you have a large tribe or you have thousands upon thousands of people that can sustain that, you're not going to really see like a blow up, right? You're not, because the margins are just, they're made for literally printing one at a time. So you're never going to get the printing or manufacturing benefits that other people have of purchasing in bulk. That's why you got to make sure your products are priced well enough so that you can start purchasing in bulk. Period. Okay. Okay. I think we're done. Just want to make sure. Okay, we're good. So guys, I'm sorry, Facebook. I don't know what happened, but if you go to my YouTube channel, you will see the same exact video. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I don't know what you're doing. But I'm going to pray that you get it together, that you found me on YouTube, and you can just type in my name. Everything's branded. Genesis Dorsey, Genesis, like Sega, like Phil Collins, like Hyundai. All the same. How do you promote a product before it's designed? You don't. You promote the tribe. You gather the people. You promote the lifestyle first. So what I would suggest is you get your branding done first. You get your logo, brand board, your colors, all that stuff. Get that done first. Because remember, your product's going to have a brand that it falls under. So get the brand design first, okay? You then create a tribe. You promote the lifestyle of whatever it is that you have, okay, if you don't already have it. Okay. And you need to spend about a minimum. You may not want to hear it. Y'all may not want to hear it. It's fine. I'm trying to make you rich. Okay. I'm trying to make you wealthy, not just having product. Give yourself a minimum of 6 months. If you cannot wait for 6 months, you don't need to be in business because you don't have the patience to create the people and gather people. If you're not good at gathering people, but you love to gather products, you are a hoarder by trade. Because we're not in business to create products and just have them sit on shelves. People say, oh, I want to transform the world. You can't transform the world with products sit on the shelf. They need to get out into people's lives. This is why when people say, oh, God's blessed me to be an author. Yeah, but you're not pushing your books, which means that no one's reading your books, which means that no one's being transformed by your books because you don't want to market them. Okay, I'm just saying. It's going off a little bit on a little rant because I'm going to help y'all out. Okay, so please stop saying how God called you to write the book, but you don't want to sell the book. So God called you to create something, but you don't want to promote it. Right? Get that together. So if you're going to, so I'm working on a workbook journal for MUAs/beauty bloggers. You're trying to find an efficient way to promote it. Influencers and using yourself. Those are the best 2 ways. Use yourself and influencers. Those are 2 ways. Best ways. Yep, there you go. and being at almost, here's what I would do too. I would not take my books. I would just get some business cards or something like that that just promotes the overall brand and have people follow. I've gotten the illustration for the cover and stuff done. I haven't gotten. Okay. So again, you promote the brand. You promote the world, the tribe, the community. And remember, you must get them to an email list. So I know how good you're doing if I look at your email list and I see that you have, 500 people in your email list. So don't tell me you got a whole bunch of people waiting for your product and you don't have them gathered. There needs to be an email list. I need to see names. I need to see emails or phone numbers. One of the two. Because a database truly shows me how many people actually support you. I don't care about Facebook comments, because how many times have you seen someone comment on your Facebook and guess what? They don't even buy. But they, oh my God, I love it. Oh my God, I just love this product. Oh my God, this product is going to transform so much. Let me laugh. Oh my God, I just love your journal. I just love your planner. And they comment. You could get 100 comments, but you don't have 100 sales. So at the end of the day, I don't care about the comments. I need to see, is your inbox is your email on my email list? If it's not on my email list, don't tell me how much you love me. Are you on my email list? No. Come see, come ça. I don't see you. Okay. So that's what you need to work on. So again, spend 6 months. If you're going to have a great product, I promise you this, spend 6 months gathering people's emails. Every month, you need to hustle and work your butt off to gather your tribe. That way, when you launch your product, you can come in with a heavy amount of sales. Get people ready to purchase, okay? Hey, I'm Chrissy though. Hey. So again, that's the art of having great sales. I don't care about likes. I don't care about a lot of people have on social media. Sales are what matter. Money. Listen, you may call me vain. You may have disdain, but I don't care, because at the end of the day, listen, being in business is about profit. We live in a capitalistic society. What are you trying to do here? So for me, guess what? You need to rack up emails. You need to rack up potential clients before you drop a product. So you never, ever drop a product and you don't have the tribe. I tell my clients all the time, oh, I have a book I want to release. Okay, great. How many email lists, how many people do you have ready for your product? Oh, people on Facebook are telling me that they're excited. I don't care about those people who are telling you that they're excited. I don't. Okay, your girlfriends will tell you they're excited. And how many times have you planned a trip to go out with your girlfriends, and then like a day before they all drop off like flies? Oh, girl, something came up. Oh my God! And again, we're not blaming them. This is how it goes, right? So I don't go by your word of mouth. I want to know the data. Give me the numbers. Give me the numbers. Okay. So you never produce a product without having the tribe ready for it. They need to be marketed to. They need to know the drop date. If you're doing pre-orders, the pre-order date, get them excited. How do you get them on your email list? By talking to them. You got to, whether it's social, whether it's in person, you have to be intentional, and you have to talk about it all the time. Literally all the time. Not every other day, not when you feel like it, because remember, my money comes in according to the way that I produce. So if I talk about my business every other day, my money, well, even with that, sometimes it doesn't come in every other day. Talk about your business once a week, you're going to get once a week money. Okay, so for me, how do you gather people? You number one have to create good content, intentional content. It takes time. It takes time. Oh my God, it takes time. Now, the easiest way is just do ads. There you go. You could just do ads, and you could gather people immediately. But here's the thing: if you want to go for free, it takes more time. That's what people. Oh my God, this is taking forever gathering people, because you're not paying to play. Now, if you pay to play, you'll get the email list subscribers. Do a good ad, put in some money, you'll get the people faster. But if you go down the free route, it will take time. If you don't want to use influencers, it's going to take more time. If you don't want to use, payment for promotion, it's going to take time. So for me, how long did it take? It took me, I started my own personal brand in 2014. So it's been 5 years, and I'm just getting started. So, but hey, I learned my lesson, so now I make my money. But when I first got started, you know, I was a creation hoarder. So I was creating all sorts of content products. But because I did not create my tribe first, I would struggle. And then I would get mad at myself thinking that I wasn't gifted, thinking that nobody wanted my talents. No, I was obsessed with creating products and not with making sure the products actually got into people's hands. So now I've slowed down my product creation. I've slowed it down, and I have had my books out, and they've been the same books I've had out for a while. Let It Lead is my latest one that I had. I put that out last year. And I'm not going to come with another product until I, in my opinion, need to come out with another one. Now, if you came to my summit, then you know the next product I'm working on, but I'm not in a rush to create it. So I need to make sure that I'm maxing out my sales goals with the books I have currently, workbooks, the Royal Prayer Journal is coming back out. So I need to make sure that I'm maxing out those goals. If you already have products, listen, I love you, but if you already have products and you have not been selling those products, you don't need to create another product. Okay? You do not create another product. Creating a tribe to me is the biggest part. To me, creating a tribe is so important that you have to understand that it doesn't matter what you create if there's no one there to buy it. That is exactly what I'm trying to say. I don't care how good your product is. If the people are not in the room to buy the product, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. I don't care how, if you don't have people, how are you going to make your money? Answer me this. Answer me the riddle. Okay? Let me know TikTok. Okay? Let me know how we doing this shebang. Okay? Because I don't know about you, but I don't got the time. Okay? Especially if you pay to create the product. Okay, listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, some of y'all just need to do this for as a hobby. Literally, this is what I suggest. If you do not want to put in the work, here's what you do. You write a book, okay? You go through Creative Space. Well, sorry, Kindle Direct now. Publish it for yourself. Order the book to yourself. Enjoy the book. Enjoy it, then put it on the shelf. That's what you do. If you want to create a planner and journal that you're not trying to push out units, remember to hit 10,000 a month minimum. Minimum, this is before taxes, before expenses, okay? You would need to push 250 units at an average price of $40. Some of y'all need to know numbers, because some of y'all don't know numbers, and that's why you broke. I love you, but you broke. I love you, but you're not where you should be. So I'm trying to get you to where you should be, okay? And where you should be is you have to know how many units do we need to push per month to hit a certain goal. Right? Not play money, not monopoly money, not the money that comes with monopoly, not that low level. I'm talking about actually having a company. You will need to push out 250 units. And remember, based upon a customer cycle, right? If you're doing a planner that's for a full year, remember what I said, they're not coming back until next year. So this is going to be 250 new people every month. That's why, yeah, we are running ads. That's why we are going to use influencers. This is why we are going to, be at exhibiting and events and all kind of stuff. That's why you need to invest and go to huge conferences where you can put your product in front of people, but you need to make sure that it's worth that time and that effort. I'm having trouble finding my niche. Making sure that you have a niche that actually serves as I like to put it, solves a need, a clear need that enough people would buy it. And you want to make sure you have a wide enough pool too. So not too small, but not too big, right? Something that kind of identifies a clear customer, but not too wide to where it's for everybody. And then now you're really struggling, and now you really are everyone's competition. How did you handle when people say your stuff is expensive? They're not for me. They're not for me. Listen, my parents taught me this lesson a long time ago. I never forget. Actually, this actually happened recently, so I'm gonna use this recent example. I walked into a meeting a couple of days ago, and I had my Neverfull. Right? Now, this is actually my brand new one. Some of you guys know my story with the other one. May it rest in peace. Louis Vuitton trying to play me. Anyway, but I got this brand new one. To me, a bag's a bag. It's not about how much it costs. It's a bag. Okay, it's a bag. And I walked into a meeting, and I noticed that this girl. Now, this bag is one of the most basic Louis Vuitton. This bag's been around forever. Okay, it's not it's not like a crocodile one. It's not an epi. Actually, I think it's an epi. It's not It's a bag. Okay. Anyway, I walked into the room. I noticed that this other African American woman, her body language shifted. Not because of me, but when I set this daggone bag down. This is what she said. I had to correct her real fast. I'm talking about, how do you handle people call you stuff expensive, right? She said, oh my gosh. She said, one day I prayed that I could even afford a bag like that. Now, she was eating Chipotle. And I don't know about you, but Chipotle is not at the same level as Taco Bell. Chipotle is a little bit more expensive, right? So I said, let's ask her a question. I said, how often do you eat Chipotle? How often do you eat out? She said, listen, she was like, with my work schedule, I barely cook. I eat out all the time. I said, okay. So then you guys know I pull out my calculator. You gotta pull out calculators nowadays on people, okay? So I said, hold on. I said, so on average, how much would you say you spend on eating out? She said, probably like, I would say maybe $500 a month. I said, well, this bag, I forgot, I think it was like $1,400. I said, this bag is only $1,400. So if you didn't eat out for 3 months, you would have the same bag I had. It's not that it's expensive. It's just that it's not a priority for you. So don't get uncomfortable because you think this bag makes me. Ma'am, you can have the same bag if you stop eating that Chipotle right in front of your face. Now, why am I saying that story? It's not that things are expensive. It's just that it's not a priority for people, right? Like, for instance, if I'm a mom, right? If I'm a mom and, I have 5 kids, driving a 2-door convertible that costs me, $150,000 is not a priority. So I probably would say to you, man, that is expensive. I would not pay that. You know why? It's not a priority. My father, for instance, he has these watches that are like, oh my God, worth a ton of money, right? And for me, a watch is not valuable. Like I don't view them as like, but I have some male friends, even my exes, watches are like, they will drop easy $20,000 on a watch. And I'm just like, and for me too, I break down. Like I'm a breakdown queen. Like I'm like $20,000. Wow, I could get my Chanel bag. I can get 2 computers. I could at Marshalls. I have a Marshalls spring. Okay, what else? $20,000. Well, definitely I can get another investment property. Okay, for them it's one watch, right? So for me, it's all about what people value. So you never get affected when people say that they can't afford it. It's just not for them. It's not a priority. And you cannot blame people that it's not a priority because they don't, it wastes your time when you try to convince people of value, right? I think that your product should definitely have descriptions of why it's valuable, why people should buy it, but you should never defend your pricing. Right? Louis Vuitton is not going to say, oh, well, it's worth this price point because of this, that. Listen, the value. It describes what kind of leather, how it's handmade, handcrafted, even though I can debate that from my last Neverfull or from my RTMM, which I purchased a year ago, and it already has holes in it. But nonetheless, okay, no one's doing that. So you'll be just fine. So you price it at whatever you price it at, okay? I think we're good, right? Did I get all questions? Let me go back to YouTube, make sure I got all questions. Okay, we did. Oh, God. Okay. Do you sell your graphic art services? Do you mean like, should you or do I? Yes, I do. It's through Glam Print Go. You can check us out at Glam, Glam, Print, Print, go.com. I'm so excited. My leg is shaking because I got to say about what I just said. Like, yeah. But anyway, Glam Print Go, we serve, I can't even talk. I'm so excited. Sorry, that whole question, like, just lit me on fire. Just lit me on fire. Because I really hope that girl really stopped spending all that money on Chipotle and really gets the bag that she said. Because she could have got that a year ago. But anyway, sidetrack. I'm sidetracked like a rabbit. So go to glamprintgo.com. We specialize in Glam Print Go. Glam is the design, print is product manufacturing, and Go is our consulting or coaching services where I teach you one-on-one on how to develop good products. So I have clients who pay for me to not just create their journals and planners, but to also coach them through what happens after they get their planners and journals. Because once you get done the design, that's just the start. And now you have to run the business. So we also offer that. Again, go to glamprintgo.com. But let me tell you something. We started $2,000 per customer, per project. So I'm just telling you the investment now because I would not suggest you come in my inbox or you come on our website and you're just like, oh, $2,000 minimum to start your project with us, okay? And that is for the design, that is for the coaching you through the process. And then we also, we help you with the manufacturing. Okay. So basically by the time you get done, we have a product at your foot and right at your door. Okay. So it's basically, it's taking you through the whole entire process. So don't just come to us for design. We do the whole thing in one project. So we don't just design it, then you go somewhere else to have someone help you make. No, we do the whole thing in one shebang. Okay. If you have multiple products, what if you gave up but want to rebuild? I'm gonna get to that. Do you, if you have multiple products, how do you gather them under one brand, speaker, author, coach? I don't. I have multiple brands. So I have GenesisDorsey.com, right, which is focused on teaching people how to build their businesses. Okay, and that includes retail and service-based. Okay, that includes my speaking, because my speaking falls under. Let me put Joan's question up on YouTube so you guys can see it. That includes my speaking, right, and my coaching services, because it's all under helping people build their business. And then for my design services, which are service-based, that's Glam Print Go. Right, so it's a separate brand. For Royal Prayer Journal, that is technically a separate brand, but I'm bringing it under. I'm trying to figure out if I want to bring it under. I'm still debating that. I'm in business just like y'all, so I'm still trying to debate certain things. But I have multiple brands. It's not smart to put everything under one brand if they are not cohesive. Right, so I wouldn't put Glam Print Go under GenesisDorsey.com. It is separate. They do two separate things. So I'm the coach, the consultant, the speaker. Then there's the service-based business, which actually does it for you. I coach it, I teach it, and a business that does it for you. So you want to separate those. My books, they match my brand. If I have books that don't match my brand, then it needs to go under a separate brand. And when you build a separate brand, you have to build a separate audience. That's important. Okay. But yeah, as long as they all fit under a certain mission, they can all be branched together. What did you do? Miss K Positivity says, what did you do first to start the making of your journal? What platform you use? Go watch my starting your journal. Go watch my video on starting your journal business. It was a prayer. I think it's called like Prayer Journal Business. Go to that's the one that everyone has watched. I think it's like over 40,000 views. That I break down everything from when I did my first journal to my second journal, okay? Which is, it's awesome. So go watch that one. Because I talk about everything from what I use, what companies I use. At the time I used CreateSpace, which is now Kindle Direct. So it's the same process, everything like that. I use Kindle Direct Publishing to print it. I even talk about the price points, how much it costs to print. Go to that video because everything's in depth there. Okay, question. Gigi, check your Facebook Messenger. Get back to me. You can. Okay, awesome. Okay, I had a question over here on Instagram, so I'm gonna get to that. Okay, and it is from I am Chrissy though. I'm Chrissy though. S. What do you do? What if you gave up, but you want to rebuild? Hey, Shonda. Guys, I'm a Christian. Sometimes I act black Christian. Anyway, what if you gave up, but you want to rebuild? Any advice? Okay. Let me first gather my thoughts because y'all know I can teach. In my opinion, you have to first decide that you want to rebuild. If you gave up, you have to, through your own free will, you have to make an internal decision if you want to do this again, especially if you've been in business, and you've gone through huge losses, right? I think that is something that you definitely want to think about, okay? And you want to really ask yourself, why did I give up the first time? Okay, what made me actually walk away, or what made me not want to do it anymore? Because I think that it's a very good question, so that if those same triggers or events came back again, you would not repeat, walking away, right? I think that you also have to realize that when it comes to building, loss is a part of the game. And in order to have a big win, you will incur losses. And you have to prepare your mindset so that when you go through the losses, that you don't withdraw yourself from the game at hand, right? And I love sports. I love ESPN2. I watch it all the time. And when you watch sports, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, baseball, tennis, golf, there are going to be losses. And as a player, you have to realize that the losses are going to teach you lessons. and that their job is to sharpen you, not to make you quit. And there'll be feelings of wanting to give up, but you got to realize, why am I in the game, right? Why did I join the game in the first place? Most players in basketball, football will tell you that it's to get a ring. They will literally leave teams that they feel like there's no longer a chance of obtaining a ring, or at least getting into championships. They want to find the best possible team that will help them become the best possible player. So for them, it's about getting rings, it's about winning. It is about winning. And so the losses, they don't mind as long as there are more wins than losses, right? So if I were you, I would not dwell too much longer or even give too much energy on what happened and, oh my God, I can't believe that. Listen, all I need to know is what happened, why did it happen, how can I figure out a better strategy, and let me get back in the game, right? When you lose in sports, you don't just, oh my God, we lost. No, what did we do wrong? What did we do wrong? Did we have measurables so that we can easily find what we did wrong, right? And then what is the game plan for the next game, right? I've started businesses that didn't get off the ground. And I learned my lessons from them. I learned that it's not smart to have 20 companies open at the same time. Just sit your butt down and do what only you can manage. Do not start another company if you don't have a team to manage it. Make sure that you're making enough money in the first company to afford help for the second company, instead of being like most people who are thinking of, oh, I need to run 5 businesses at one time because I'm the ultimate boss. No, you're stupid, because you don't have the team to help you, and you're running rampant, and therefore you are dividing your energy, your time, and your focus. So I've learned a lot. And so I just pray for you that I'll be praying for you. I'll be praying that you're going to get your focus back, and that you're going to come back even harder, and that you're going to surprise those who counted you out, and even yourself. You may have counted yourself out. So I pray that you come back harder. Okay. I Pick Him says, have you heard of Tangent Templates? Yes, I have. Tangent templates are basically templates you can buy for, I believe it's for Creative Space, I want to say, which is down here in Direct Publishing. And I have heard of them. I haven't researched in depth, so I cannot say that I'm an expert when it comes to Tangent templates. But what I am aware of is that they produce templates for, they're basically like pre-made layouts. The reason why I've never done research about them is because usually I'm working with clients that have a desire for a custom layout. So I'm making their layouts from scratch. So I can't use any template, because we don't use templates. We're going to create them from scratch. So I'm going to literally create whatever layout they want their planner or journal to look like. Now, if they have journal templates or planner templates, that is awesome. But I've never done research for it, because a lot of my clients, they have, we're using their own fonts, colors, everything. So I've never used them in depth, but you've made me want to look back into them. So I'm going to look back into them, guys, and I'll get back to you about them. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to end this broadcast. Hopefully I've answered some questions for you. I will be coming back this weekend to do some more talks about planner and journal business. But until then, hopefully you're able to get some notes and learn some stuff. And hopefully I was able to help you. So see you guys later. Bye, Instagram. I will see you guys soon. And then see you, YouTube. I will see you guys soon. Awesome sauce. And then